Title: My husband said the baby wasn't his. Then the truth destroyed our marriage. When I told my husband Daniel that I was pregnant, I expected him to be happy. We had been married for 3 years. We had talked about having a baby many times. He always said he wanted a family with me. But the moment I showed him the pregnancy test, his face changed. He stared at it for a few seconds, then looked directly at me and said, "That baby isn't mine." At first I thought he was joking, but Daniel didn't smile. He walked away from me, grabbed his car keys, and left the house without saying another word. I stood there in our kitchen, holding the test in my shaking hands. I cried for hours that night. I kept asking myself what I had done wrong. I had never cheated on him. I loved him. I trusted him completely. The next morning, Daniel came home. He looked tired, angry, and cold. He said, "I want a DNA test as soon as the baby is born." His words hurt more than I could explain. I asked him why he suddenly didn't trust me. He avoided my eyes and said, "I just know this child can't be mine." For the rest of my pregnancy, Daniel became a different person. He stopped touching my hand. He stopped asking how I felt. He didn't come with me to doctor appointments. He barely spoke to me. My mother told me to leave him, but I kept hoping he would change. I thought maybe he was scared. Maybe he needed time. But deep inside, I knew something was wrong. One evening, when I was 7 months pregnant, Daniel was in the shower. His phone kept buzzing on the table. Normally, I would never check his phone, but after months of being treated like a liar, I picked it up. There was a message from a woman named Claire. It said, "Did you tell her yet? You can't keep living a lie forever." My heart started beating fast. I opened their conversation. What I found destroyed everything. Daniel had been having an affair with Claire for almost a year, but that was not the worst part. Claire was pregnant too. Daniel had known about her pregnancy before I told him about mine. He had been planning to leave me for her, and he had accused me of cheating because he was the one cheating. When he came out of the shower, I was sitting on the bed with his phone in my hand. He looked at me, and he knew. For a few seconds, neither of us said anything. Then he said, "I can explain." I laughed through my tears. "Explain what?" I asked. "Explain why you called me a liar? Explain why you abandoned me during my pregnancy? Or explain why you were building another family behind my back?" Daniel started crying. He said he was confused. He said he made a mistake. He said Claire meant nothing. But I had read every message. I packed a bag that same night and went to my mother's house. Daniel called me every day. He sent flowers. He wrote long messages saying he was sorry. But apologies could not erase what he did. A few months later, I gave birth to a beautiful baby girl. Daniel came to the hospital and asked to hold her. I allowed him to see her, but I told him the DNA test would happen exactly as he wanted. A week later, the results came. My daughter was his. Daniel cried when he saw the paper. He kept saying, "I'm sorry, I'm so sorry." But I felt nothing, because the DNA test proved that he was her father. It did not prove that he deserved to be my husband. I filed for divorce soon after. Daniel moved in with Claire for a while, but their relationship did not last. Trust is hard to build when it starts with betrayal. Today, my daughter is 2 years old. She is happy, healthy, and loved. Daniel sees her sometimes, but he is no longer the center of my life. For a long time, I thought losing my marriage would destroy me. But it didn't. It showed me that I deserved better. Sometimes the person who accuses you the loudest is hiding the biggest secret. And sometimes the most painful ending is actually the beginning of a better life.